Okay, in this session we'll be creating the cup holder, and in order to do that I'm going to tap over the viewport with the space bar. I'm going to tap again over the front view with space bar, and on this view I'm going to create a curve, a civic curve that will be attached to the container of the cup, and then via an extrusion I'm going to make the holder. Okay, so the first thing here will be to create civic curve option box. I'm going to reset the tool, and my cursor changes into a reticle. I'm going to make this reticle in the middle of this unit around here. Click. And I'm going to make a curve around the same shape in order to end up here. Okay, don't worry about the shape for now. You can just press enter here. I'm going to close the tool settings, and as soon as I select the curve, I see that the pivot is still at the center with the curve here. If I press F8 with the curve selected and then right click control vertex, I can see the vertices with which the curve is modeled after. So I can select each of these vertices and just edit them in order to give to the cup holder a better shape. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and this one I'm going to place it nicely around here, and that's the shape I want. Okay, so I right click here, object mode, and that's curve. All right, I'm going to tap over the viewport, and I'm going to tap again over the perspective view. Now I need to do two things. First, I need to see the wireframe over the object. In order to have it displayed over the object at any time, I can go here on the shading menu and select the option wireframe unshaded, this one. I'm going to select this one so I can see the wireframe over the shaded option. I can see that the curve is coming out at the middle of this, from this edge, and I don't want it to come from the edge. I want to come from a face. However, this is just one long face, and I need at least one section here and one section here in order to make the cup holder. In order to do that, I need to create more loops or subsections over the height of the cup holder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap over the perspective view. I'm going to tap again over the front view, and here I also need the wireframe, so I'm going to do the same thing I did on the perspective. Select shading, wireframe unshaded, right click over my cup, and select edge. Now I'm going here to edit mesh, mesh tools, and there's a tool called insert edge loop tool option box. I'm going to reset the tool, and my cursor changed into the tip of an arrow. So I'm going to select any edge, this one for example, and without letting go the left mouse button of the left mouse button, I'm gonna drag over that edge this loop, and I'm gonna put it around this height. I'm gonna click again, drag it, and put it there. Click again, drag it, put it there. Click again, drag it, put it there. So you can see it's around this area, this height. Okay. I'm gonna, in order to get rid of the tool, I can click the tool window, and then either press the Q letter on the keyboard or just select this arrow here to go back into selection mode. Okay. I'm going to tap and tap again on perspective, and I see that I have the face box still. I need this face to be centered around the curve. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to right click over the cup container, select object mode, select the cup, and then tap on the perspective view, tap on the top view, and I'm going to rotate this view 9 degrees. So I press 9 over the y-axis, and now I finally have this face over the z-axis or the intersection. Okay. So I go back into the perspective view, and now I can see that the curve is coming out from the center of the face. So the next step will be, again, go into component mode and select faces. Select this face, shift, select the curve, and with this face and the curve selected, I'm gonna go here into edit mesh, face, extrude. Be careful because the extrude option, it's available in face, it's available also on edge, and also on vertex. So I need the extrude face option here. So face extrude selection option box. Just edit reset settings, and I'm gonna hit before hitting apply. Here on divisions, I'm going to type 10 divisions. So I want this extrusion to be along the curve with 10 divisions on it. I'm gonna hit apply, and that's it. 10 divisions, and it's done over the curve. So I can close this window, right-click, object mode, click outside, and I see that the cup holder is connected nicely from the face I start making extrusion. However, that's not the case in here. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going back into object mode, into component mode, but I'm going to select vertex. I'm going to select all these vertices, just this, the ones at the end of the extrusion. I'm going to bring them back here just a little bit, like that. And I'm going to get rid, of these two faces, this one, and shift this one here, these two faces. Make sure you are not selecting any other faces in the object. In order to do that, you can press the number 4 on the keyboard and rotate around just to see that those two faces are the only ones selected, not more faces selected on the mesh. Okay, press 5 to go into shaded mode, and I press delete, the delete key. And now I have a hole in there, and I have a hole in here, and I can connect these vertices again with this vertices over here. So I'm going back, right-click, right-click over the object, select vertex, select these vertices, bring them closer to this, a bit up maybe, and these two were here. I'm gonna bring them a bit closer as well. Okay, so I'm going to select these two, press F, the F key to focus on my selection, making going a bit backwards. I'm going to select also these two. Make sure, oops, it's shift select these two as well. Make sure you don't have, like before, make sure you don't have any other vertices selected, just those, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna merge them. I'm gonna merge them with the Merge Components tool. So edit mesh, merge components, option box, edit, reset settings, and make sure the threshold is 0.5. Remember, the threshold is the separation that you want the tool to check for the components to merge. So for example, if my threshold is 10, imagine this is a sphere with a diameter of 10, and everything inside that sphere will be collapsed or connected. And I don't want that. I want, because otherwise these two vertices will be connected with these two at the center. I don't want that. What I want is to connect only these two and these two separately. So I put a threshold of 0.5, so this area will be around this. There will be an imaginary sphere of 0.5 here, and also another one here, 0.5, that only covers these two and these two vertices separately. I hit apply, and they're connected. And I'm going to do the same over here. Okay, so I'm going to select these two, apply, and I'm going to select these two and apply. Again, with the 4 key, I can close this. With the key number 4, I just make sure that everything is nicely connected, and I didn't select any other any other vertices on the mesh. If I press 5, I can see that it's finally done in here. So I go back with F8, I go back into into object mode. And with the keys 1, 2, and 3, remember I can set the definition, the smoothness of the object. So I select the object 1, 2, or 3, and with 3 is the smooth version. I think it looks cleaner. Remember when we did this in class, we had a bit of deformation around here, but I was able to fix that by creating just these 2 loops around the cup instead of having the whole cup created full of loops since the beginning, from the beginning. So this is a simpler shape and cleaner as well. Now what we're going to do is 2 more things before jumping into the third tutorial. And we're going to select the object, and look here on inputs. We have all these inputs here. Those are the operations we just realized since the creation of the cylinder. I'm going to get rid of them so the scene is nice and clean. In order to do that, I select the cup, the mesh, I go into edit, delete all by type, history. I just deleted the history of the object. So the history is not there. My scene is not as heavier as before. And I also have this curve inside the object, and I want to get rid of it. I could try to select it in here, but at the same time I'm selecting the object. Or I could just, remember, I could go into Window, Outliner, or select this option here, this button here, and have the outliner here and the scene. And remember, the outliner is a list of all the objects that are inside my 3D world. In this case, I have my 4 perspective views. I have my cylinder, which is the cup, and I also have the curve. And these 2 default, the default light set and the default object set. These are created by default. I don't deal with it. I don't get rid of them. I need them. But what I can do is select the curve and just press delete to delete it. Okay, I don't need it anymore. I could either double click here or double click here to change the name of the object from P cylinder 1 to cup, and press enter. And now this object is actually called or named cup, and you can see that the name cup is also in the outliner. Okay, if I press 5 to go into shade mode, I see that the cup is already modeled. And that's it for this tutorial.